I got something for you guys. So
All right.
I was doing my homework, watching some races, and I was watching my whatever, the Nippy 50, right? Was watching the Nippy 50, watched a couple other tracks and series, Schaefer's, and then obviously the Southern All Stars. And what I noticed is there's a lot of differences or there's not the same formatting when it comes to true double file restarts or the Delaware
Delaware.
double file restarts. And I was wondering, what is y'all's take on it? Because we race Southern Raceway with the true double file restarts, no leader out front,
It was
no,
the Southern All Star rules.
yep. And then
Mm-hmm.
the spring, the Schaefer's Nationals was the leader out front, and then the Nippy 50 was true double file restarts after watching it. So I was wondering, like, what is y'all's take on it? Like, did you guys notice that at all, or have you put any thought into it?
Yeah, I've always liked the Del. I feel like if the leader is the leader, he's earned the right to start out front by himself. To me, see, but I also grew up like when we grew up, and a lot of places still race this way. Your support divisions. So I grew up running street stock, modified, hobby stock, all that. We always started single file. So if I could just get to the lead, I was pretty confident most of the time I could keep everybody behind me. So I have a natural little bit of a inclination toward the leader at least having, the front row to himself. So
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I know Southern All Stars went to it last year to true double file restarts. I think Alltech, down there, Wendell Durance, he's notorious for wanting true double file restarts. And I don't know. I mean, I guess for the fans, maybe it makes
has done it.
Eldora, yeah, it does double file restarts. I don't necessarily. I like the Delaware double file when it comes to restarts. Putting the leader out front, letting him choose, make the second place guy have to fight the third place guy, I guess.
Or make the second place guy make the right decision on where to be,
Mm-hmm.
Like he could make a bad choice.
I think my thing is I don't mind the double file, the true double file, if it's done 100% correct, right? Where, the leader, 100% fired, like fire first.
Yeah.
Not like there's two some of the series that are doing and places that are doing double file. There's I don't trust.
You got to be strict on the second place car
them to to like to let the at least I don't know, this year's a little better, but I know last year there were some instances where I'm like, that's not, they don't need to be doing double file. They're not even policing they're not policing their restarts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just giving the guy in second place a chance to to
you're
play games, right?
I think it's literally catering to second place.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's catering to second place.
Well, I'll say
again.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say 2 points is if you have your officials policing it enough to know that it's not just one person in the tower, 300, 400 feet away. Never been good at estimating distances, but how far is the race director in the tower away making that call? You need someone literally standing there at the cone, right? And saying, and then the way we do it on the series is you have the person in the infield standing there right at the cones watching, you have the flagman watching, and we have Travis Scott, our race director, watching, right? And so, if we chose to do double file, I would, I would feel like we could make sure the leader fired first in that situation. But a lot of places don't do that. It's one person and they might not have the best angle on it. But the other thing is there's a lot of tracks that do not need like Alltech Raceway, one of the raciest tracks when it's good, like every track, it sometimes is, has some, can get one lane, but not, most of the time it's wide enough and racy enough that start double file. They're not gonna run all over each other. But a lot of tracks in the South, especially whenever, and you put the second place guy and the chance to get the lead on the start, and it's one lane, he's going to do something crazy in turn one, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you're setting it up for, for drama and disaster.
Wrecking in front of the field.
I mean, I guess. How many times do we have to go single file on tracks?
Yeah, because it's
right. Because it's just.
Well, honestly, that's the way it was Friday night at Southern. There was a caution, and there was like 9 laps to go, and it's supposed to be double file all the way until 5 to go. And I'm like, crap, we're about to start, double file. Here on, then they went single file because it was rubbered in single lane.
I'm not saying it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it should got to be the right circumstances, and that's why our series, we go to enough places where I just don't feel like we're quite ready for that to go just true double file all the time.
Right.
But you never know, may change in the future. Think you were
BJ raises
Yeah.
a really good point. Appreciate the super chat again, BJ. Guys, we're in the South below the Mason-Dixon line. It is Dixie double file.
Yeah,
The Dixie double file restart. That is
true.
solid
but
point.
it was
it was always
originated.
That's
Right.
the way,
What track in Delaware was it?
Listen, I'm Delaware International, maybe. I don't know.
It's the only one you know.
No, there's another one up there. I've actually been to Delaware International. But and I'm pretty sure that's where I think seems like they remember saying that's where it came from, whatever. But my point is like the Delaware double file restart like really was cool, right? And when it changed, like to me, I mean, I get it. Oh, we're in the South, it's Dixie, but no, it can't. Like it was the cool thing like that. It'll always be known to me as the Delaware double file restart. There ain't many things I know from Delaware or about Delaware, but when I first heard about it, and oh wow, they do that. That makes things interesting, right? Second place guy gets to choose, so kudos to them if that's where it originated and where it came from. I think they deserve to be.
They deserve to get the
spotlight.
One other thing that I just thought of about that
Georgetown
topic.
Speedway. That's the other track in Delaware that I've heard of.
Maybe it originated there.
Maybe.
So the other thing about that is I see talking about people, race directors not policing restarts very well. What I do see happen a lot is guys so if the leader is out front, Delaware, Dixie, whatever you want to call it, style restart, he's got one lane. He's blocking one car. Well, the car that is not directly behind him cheats up or takes off. And so you end up with the guy who, whichever way the leader went, the guy behind him gets held up and the other guy gets to jump. And so I will say that the true double file restart takes that out of the equation. Remember the modified race at East Bay?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Troutman and
wasn't that a situation of that where and everybody like it was just everybody back and forth on Facebook about he jumped or he didn't jump, and
it was pretty clear he was beside the leader when they fired, which. I don't want to get into that whole rant.
Listen, Joshua, it isn't pretty clear because there was a hell of a riot about it. It was like
for 2 days straight. That's all I was seeing on Facebook was people arguing over this restart. Well, that was supposed to be a Delaware double file restart that wasn't policed well, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Did they penalize him or did they not?
They did.
They did. Okay, so it was
and they
policed well
after it was over because it was a restart with just a handful of race laps to go.
But listen,
well, a lot of times you don't see that policing happen.
That's true. It goes both ways. It's got to be policed, whether it's true double file or Delaware. I just hate for the race to be decided on a restart when to me the leader has earned the right to be out front, and by putting the second place guy, up beside him, at least if it's not policed that well on a Delaware double file, you're
probably not going to police it well on the other
advantage on the guy, but the second or third place guy, not an advantage on the leader.
Right. I see.
So that's why I tend to, unless I am 100% confident in the officials to police it and make sure it's done correctly, why I think, it needs to be, and also the track, lends itself to, that situation where I think it's, Delaware for me. Like I lend, but
if we're voting,
I'm not saying
it's wrong.
I'm just saying it's opening a can of worms, and you'd hate to see a guy lose a race on a restart that wasn't policed correctly, or because the track's kind of not as racy as you'd like, and you put the second place guy beside him, right? Like, that's my take, because I feel like a guy is a lot less likely to try something crazy when it's just racing for second versus racing for the lead, right?
Yeah.
So. But that's my take. I could be, I'm not saying it's wrong one way or the other. I'm just saying
I vote Delaware if that's what we were asking. Yeah. Long story short.
Delaware. Well, honestly, I think if we were Delaware, we wouldn't have gotten fourth on Saturday. So, if we were Delaware, we would have gotten third or better. Possibly went to second. I'm just saying.
That's what this is all about.
Sorry. No, well, it just made me think about it because I was watching these other races. And I noticed that race up there, the Nippy 50, was true double file. I thought it was a Southern All-Star, kind of
Eldor does it that way too.
And then I know
NASCAR. Hey, apparently there's a big argument in NASCAR about jumping a restart, Denny Hamlin or something.
Oh yeah, I seen some stuff about that.
He was the leader.
Yeah, he went 5 feet early.
But they have a start box. They have a starting zone.
Anyway, that's a whole nother topic.